I mean, I can't believe it. This small kit is all I need to make amazing movies. Hey, it's John Bear. Welcome to Kashmir, and I hope you enjoy these beautiful shots that I collected in this wonderful small town.
"絶対これ使わんやろ."
It's good to be back. So I just came back from a half-month-long leave. I went to Iceland, I went to Poland, I went to, what's the last one? France. Sometimes when you travel too much, it just mixes in your mind. This travel made me reappreciate how easy it is to travel within the EU. I'm grateful for that. Aside from Iceland, half of the places we didn't even plan to go to them. It just sort of happened on a whim, depending on where we are and where it's convenient to go. We ended up in Nice, France after visiting Poland because flying from Nice, France to Dubai happened to be convenient and we wanted some more hot weather. Grabbing a plane from Poland was like hopping on a bus. Then you're in Nice. Amazing. You're in Nice. Nice, France. Blue ass water. During this half-month-long journey, I only used one lens, and that's the lens I'm using right now, and that's the lens I made a video about just before this one, the Panasonic 12-35. So during this travel, my setup was super simple. I used the GH5 with the Panasonic 12-35 f2.8 with an ND filter on top, variable ND of course, from K&F Concept. All the products that I'm gonna mention now, I'll link them down below with. And then I just park my GH5 on top of the switchpod, which has quickly become my #1 favorite camera accessory. I love this thing. And you're on the switchpod right now actually. Not only does the switchpod give you an incredibly nice grip when you're outside just vlogging around, but you can easily put your camera down, which has two major utilities for me. One being that I can simply just put it down and frame a cool looking shot and then walk into the shot, which gives my vlogs a more dynamic that I just didn't appreciate before. And now I feel almost allergic to the handheld shots. Like I want all my shots to just be this sort of third-person window into my world. I love these types of shots now. The second reason I love the switchpod is because when I'm traveling, I got a lot of luggage, right? So having the switchpod, I can easily just put my camera down on any ground, just like whip it out and then poof, park it. My next piece of vital equipment while traveling was of course my drone. And my drone that I'm using right now is none other than the Air2s. Earlier this year, I made a video about the Mavic Air, the original Mavic Air, where I'm praising it for being a drone that's good enough. And nowadays, you can get the original Mavic Air pretty cheap on the used market. So now you're asking, John, why'd you get the Air2s? Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, the Air2s can film in 10-bit glorious colors, and I use a 10-bit color workflow, which means I shoot all my footage in 10-bit flat profile and then I color it in post to add more pizzazz. Boom! And for me, color grading is a very enjoyable part of my process. I'm definitely not the best or a professional at color grading, but I have a lot of hours under my belt just experimenting. So for me, getting a drone that can film in 10-bit colors to allow me to color grade the footage was just a natural step. The one thing I really miss about the original Mavic Air is how small it is. And in that video I made, I praise it for being so small. Now with the Air2s, it is larger. The controller itself is massive, which is probably why I packed so light for my GH5 camera for this whole travel. I didn't want to carry a bunch of lenses. I didn't know if I was going to use them. So that's my travel kit for this travel. Let me know down in the comments if you want to learn more about how I film these things, what my settings are on the cameras or the Air2s. And finally, I just want to mention that the weird blur effect you've seen in this video, that's just me being silly. I went to this small town of Kazimir and I wanted to make it feel even smaller, so I added a tilt shift effect, which is like the blur that you notice, which makes everything look like a miniature. So, small town, see what I did there? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, so thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.